call the regular board meeting to order. All board members are present. Mr. Bueller, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss employment matters relating to particular persons and medical history relating to a particular person? Mr. Bueller, Ms. Fletch, all in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
The better part of ours.
No, I have not.
We have a motion to return the regular board meeting to public session. Ms. Pullen? Mr. Manna? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. As we return to public session, all board members are present. Sorry. Our board considered an appeal of the Williamsville Central School District's denial of a parent's request for homebound instruction for a student in the district during the immediately preceding executive session. Our board may vote to grant this appeal or deny this appeal. May I please have a motion on this appeal? Mr. Manna,
I make a motion to deny the appeal.
is there a second to deny the appeal? Dr. Singh, all in favor of denying the appeal? It was, okay, so it's Dr. Singh, Dr. Spicer, Mr. Manna, myself, Ms. Poulin, Mr. Buscalia, and Ms. Fletch. Who is opposed?
I'm abstaining.
Ms. Bluckinger is opposing, and Mr. Bulin is abstaining. So the motion carries 7-1-1. Good evening and welcome to all in attendance. Please be advised that in the event of a fire emergency and an evacuation should be necessary, an alarm will sound. Please know all marked emergency exits and evacuate well away from the building. At this time, we request that everyone turn their cell phones and other electronic devices to silent. Thank you. We are now on board acknowledgements. Are there any board acknowledgements this evening? Ms. Fletch.
Yes. I had to write it down, so I got it right. I wanted to congratulate Sherry Gibson. She's an AP US History teacher at North. She also serves as the Asian American Student Alliance Club advisor, and she was chosen as one of 5 C-SPAN Summer Teacher Fellows. This fellowship is designed for middle and high school educators who are familiar with C-SPAN's programs and demonstrate innovative methods of incorporating these programs into the classroom. So she will be collaborating with the C-SPAN Education Relations team to develop new teaching material throughout the month of July.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Are there any other board acknowledgements? Ms. Poulin.
Yes, I wanted to congratulate the Mill Orchestra that, you want to do it?
Oh, glad.
That won first place in the orchestra section of the Darien Lake Music Festival. And they also took home the grand prize for the, you want to finish that?
No, you
Mr.
can.
Buscalia?
I'll just say my son was in the orchestra. So that's
The grand prize for the best performance of the day. So they were very excited. They had received that. This is the 3rd time Mill has received that trophy.
Are there other board acknowledgements? And apparently there are school spotlights that I was unaware of. So Dr. Brown Hall, I turn it over to you.
Thank you. Several school spotlights. Thank you very much, Board President. We know our PTAs and PTSAs provide incredible experiences for students and families that extend beyond the school day. Now, thanks to the annual fun run, Dodge Elementary has a new piece of inclusive playground equipment that ensures all Dodgers have the opportunity to laugh, learn, and play as one. I'd now like to welcome Dodge Elementary Assistant Principal Nicole Mayers, along with Dodge PTA Presidents Jenny Kenyon and Amanda Klein, to show more on the fun run and its impact.
Good evening, Board of Education and Dr. Brown Hall. I'm Nicole Mayers. I'm the AP at Dodge Elementary. Mr. Smilich and I want to thank you for recognizing the incredible partnership that we share with our PTA at Dodge Elementary. We're proud to have with us tonight Jenny Kenyon and Amanda Klein, 2 dedicated leaders who represent the heart of our PTA. Their tireless effort and support make a lasting impact on our students, enriching their experience in countless ways. We are truly grateful for everything the PTA does to help our school thrive. On behalf of Dodge Elementary, thank you for celebrating this meaningful partnership with us. I would like to turn it over to Ms. Kenyon and Ms. Klein, so they can speak a little bit with you about the Dodge Fun Run and also talk to you a little bit about the amazing new piece of equipment that we have for our playground that all of our students are able to enjoy and play with. So I'm going to turn it over to them for a couple seconds.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. Again, thank you for having us and giving us our little spotlight, which it's amazing to be recognized for all of our efforts that we do. Our biggest thing, our fun run, provides at Dodge to be inclusive for everybody at our school. And that's really what we strive for, is to make sure every student has the same opportunities, whether it is our PTA that's providing our free yearbooks and all of our events that are free for all of our kids. And that is strictly from our fun run. That's our only source that we have to generate for our fundraiser. And on top of that, this year, we were able to add our new piece of playground equipment, because looking at our playground, we have that's the one area that we really, really have missed. And I think we're getting there now. And so we were able to install, it's our Burke. It's the Movement Extreme. It's a fully interactive piece of equipment that all of our students can use together. And it's placed nicely right along the sidewalk. So there's no wood chips or different obstacles to get through and to navigate. But the piece itself, they'll show you in the video, but it's totally kid powered, which is awesome. It's cranked and it's kind of like a giant Simon, where they're able to interact and hit the buttons. They can play with each other. It's not just, a team sport game or one, it's just everybody working together. And the kids have loved it. It's been a really great addition, and it's something that our Fun Run has provided, and we're really proud of it. So
Awesome.
that's it. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
They wait for it all year, right? Like,
They wake up and be like, it's Fun Run Day! Like, and it's just a lot of fun to see them being kids, and
Yeah.
they're just having fun with their
Yeah.
friends. Families come and cheer them on. The teachers are here, the staff is here, everybody's here. It's not just a grade level event, it's a whole Dodge community event, which is what it's really all about.
amazing! Julia, you got it! It is incredible to see the amount of people that get excited. It's just such a special thing that we have. It's so satisfying to see what we're able to do for our families here. What we've raised has given us the opportunity to purchase a new piece of playground equipment for our Dodgers.
The piece of playground equipment that we have is the Burke Movement Extreme. It is a light up button interactive piece. It's kid powered, which is super cool. So they are the ones that are actually going to generate the power to this piece of equipment. It is an amazing piece because it is an inclusive piece, a piece that all of our Dodgers are able to play with. And I think that really is the most important part. They're one family, one community, one set of students working together as a team.
Oh, 31 again! Our priority is our kids here and what we can do for them. How can we make their experience memorable? We just want them to have special memories of their time here. So that's what it's about.
Thank you very much, our Dodge team. Thank you so much. Next, in 1975, Williamsville East opened its doors to students and staff. For 50 years, they have, in their own words, carried the torch, providing the educational spark to many in our community. To commemorate this time in history, the school held 50 Years of Flames, a community event designed to connect the past and the present. Please welcome East Principal Jason Swenson, Assistant Principal Melissa Spada, and Terry Warner, assistant to the principal, who helped open the school back in 1975.
Wow.
Usually Terry tells me what to do. This is very weird. So bear with me because I didn't bring my reading glasses, so I might look a little weird when I'm reading this. So as you may be aware, East is celebrating its 50th year. As part of this celebration, we organized a community event to celebrate everything that is East. On May 28th, we welcomed the community to our Flames Fest 50 celebration. Although the rain pushed us indoors, it did not dampen our spirits like that. The evening was filled with current students and alumni mingling together to celebrate the wonderfully unique school that is East. I would like to thank our Flames Fest committee. Some are here to join us as well for tonight, starting with our librarian, Michelle Weber, and a special thank you to our committee chair and East alum, Melissa Spada, who had the vision to put this all together, rain or shine. Additionally, I would also like to thank the PTSA, the faculty, staff, students, and alumni for coming out to celebrate with us. I lost my space C, reading. And thank you. And of course, we cannot celebrate 50 years of East without a moment to recognize someone who has not only been at East for all 50 years, but has also worked in this district for 56 years.
Wow.
Mrs. Terry Warner, who is accompanied by her husband, Jim. For 50 years, Mrs. Warner has been the steady life force that drives East. Personally, I am grateful for Mrs. Warner's guidance as I transition here to East and value her thoughts and opinions. On behalf of the students, staff, and alumni at East High School, who the alumni that night were all around her. She was the life of the party. Staff and alumni at East High School, I'd like to present these flowers to Mrs. Warner as a small token of our gratitude for 50 years of service to East High School.
I just want to thank the board and of course our great superintendent for the opportunity to work in Wadesville. It's a fabulous district. It's wonderful to be with the children and work with the staff. And it's great to see the alumni come back.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you all so very much.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you.
So with that being said, I'd like to thank Mr. Filipowski and Mr. Morales for capturing the essence of what is East. Please enjoy 50 years of East.
Thank you.
We are celebrating Flame Fest. It's kicking off our 50th anniversary of our building, and it is a celebration that invites alumni, current students, and future students to come and celebrate our community here at East. We've heard from a lot of alumni from the very first year of East up till present students, so I think that just shows what a community we have around our school and how much they want to come back and see what it's like today.
I graduated in 1976, the first class out of Williamsville East.
Wow.
I blinked and 50 years went by like in like 10 seconds. I couldn't believe it when I read it in the Amherst Bee. All the open walls just comes right back to me. It's just like I was here yesterday. It's so wonderful to be back.
When we opened, we still had a lot of the building not finished. The auditorium wasn't finished. Some of the classroom areas weren't finished. So we had school buses, and depending on what class you were, you would go out to your school bus until we could get things finished and get things in. Everybody was happy. We all worked together, and everybody shared, and everybody worked to get this building up and going. It was fun, and it was very enjoyable. And when I look back, I think we've come a long way in 50 years because we really are sitting very nicely.
In our junior year, we were given the choice whether to stay at Williamsville North or to come to Williamsville East. And that's how I ended up at Williamsville East, became the first senior class president, the homecoming king, and I put the time capsule in with Hadley Weinberg. I moved away. I've been away from Buffalo for nearly 40 years. I couldn't believe it when she said, I'm still here 50 years later. I'm like, wow, that's great. Great to see you, Ms. Moore.
Good to see you. I love working with the kids. I still call them kids because to me, they are kids. I've had 3 generations come through. I love working with the faculty and the staff. They're good people. They want to do what's right for kids. And the kids are all excited about going to sporting activities. They're excited about homecoming, and those things haven't changed.
What I'm going to miss most is being so actively involved in Williamsville East. And I also love our school pride and how we're the Flames and just going to like homecoming games and all of that. The East community is definitely really strong. We're all super close and it's also kind of like a second family. And I really love going here.
For 50 years, this school has been a home for so many students, and this is going to be them coming back and getting to feel that comfort of not only the students they went to school with, but some of their teachers are going to be here and they'll get to bond with them, and they're excited to celebrate it and be back with one another.
Look at Daddy! Look at that hair!
I hope they really get to experience their memories of what they had when they were a student here, and some of that gets to come back and they get to bond with some of the other alumni that come for the event, share their stories, share their memories, so that we can continue to grow as a building and learn from one another's successes and failures so that this place is great.
How awesome, right? Now on to more awesomeness. Next, we are joined by our Unified Athletics program. Last month, Williamsville North hosted student athletes from East, North, and South for their annual Unified Sports Pep Rally and basketball game. It's truly one of the best experiences of the school year that brings our whole school community together. Tonight, they are here for a special recognition for our board and community. Please welcome our Unified program, its athletes, along with coaches Tracy Fitzpatrick and Tracy Finicky.
Hello, everybody. We thank you for having us.
Hello.
Oftentimes, we get the recognition because, you know, it is such a fun program. And so we have Frank Nigro here, who's one of our coaches, Tracy Finicky, Molly Fitzpatrick, and Avi Ranjan, who are athletes. And we just wanted to thank you all and the community for the support you give us to do something fun and great. With our Unified Club and our Unified Sports program, we have enjoyed so much community and so much unification, really, at North. Mr. Bowen is a huge supporter of us, our administration, and we get to tell them often and they get to see it every day, but you all don't get to see it every day, and it is something to see. So just the way it brings North together and brings our community together. So we have Avi and Molly who are going to say a few things. You want to start off, Avi?
Yep.
Okay, come on up. You can put it right there or in front of you, whatever you feel more comfortable.
Okay. Thank you for all the support for Unified Club and Winners for Sport. We love playing for volleyball, polo, and basketball. We love getting together once a month to hang out with our friends.
Thank you.
We love and we love being able to hang out with our friends after school and meeting new friends. We are thankful to have opportunity and to participate in sports and club. We want to share with a gift of our education with you.
So we have these gifts. We don't want to take your time by passing them out, but we'll just show you. So our club was able to purchase these mugs that say Williamsville Unified 2025. And our club name is named by Mrs. Finicky. She came up with Better Together because we really are better together with everybody in Williamsville. So we're just everyone has a mug, few little chocolates, and there's cards that the kids made for all of you. So thank you for all you do for us. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. That is awesome. Finally, tonight I want to highlight the Mobile Museum of Tolerance, which visited our middle and high schools over the last few months. This powerful educational tool provides an outside the classroom experience where student voices are heard and immersive learning opportunities take place. I'd like to welcome Karen Greco, the district's Director of Social Studies and Libraries, to explain more.
Good evening, board members and district administrators. This year, our district had the unique opportunity to host the Mobile Museum of Tolerance. It's a powerful, immersive experience that brought lessons directly to middle and high school students on human rights, social justice, and the importance of standing up to hate. Through interactive lessons and guided dialogue, students engaged deeply with topics such as the Holocaust, civil rights, and the impact of bias and discrimination. This experience aligns with the emphasis of the New York State Social Studies Framework on fostering civic competence, historical understanding, and the critical examination of diverse perspectives. The museum not only taught history, but it sparked meaningful conversations, challenged assumptions, and empowered students to reflect on their role in creating a more inclusive and respectful community. The overwhelmingly positive feedback from both students and teachers reinforces how this experience supports our district goals of cultivating empathy, promoting equitable practices, and preparing students to be thoughtful, engaged citizens within a diverse society. I'm proud to share that this experience is a priority in our department's planning for next year. We are committed to providing students with real-world, impactful opportunities like the Mobile Museum of Tolerance, experiences that build empathy, encourage critical thinking, and foster a strong sense of civic responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Good afternoon, come on in. The Mobile Museum of Tolerance is a branch of the Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles, which is the educational hub of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. And we just work to carry out the Simon Wiesenthal Center's mission of providing really quality anti-discrimination, anti-prejudice education work.
Last November, the Mobile Museum of Tolerance held an open house in which I had the opportunity to attend. After experiencing it, I worked with building principals and teachers to bring this engaging experience to our students in Williamsville.
Can anybody give me an example, a definition? What do you think of when you hear that word tolerance? Yeah, what's your definition?
It's to be able to peacefully coexist with those around you.
Okay, I like that. Peacefully coexist with those around us, right?
This is all centered around student conversation, around their thoughts. I'm not really teaching history lessons. I'm trying to teach lessons from history. Now that we know what has happened in the past, how do we turn that into action today? And students will brainstorm that and come up with action steps before they leave.
To be able to have an experience outside of the classroom, students, I think, really felt valued and heard, and they were able to really dig into their own identities and sort of explain, what's important to them in their own lives and how it ties in with tolerance and acceptance.
When a company's values don't match ours, we don't support that company. What's the most famous example of a boycott you can think of?
Like the buses with like Rosa Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks and the Montgomery bus boycott, right? And it worked, right? The buses were desegregated.
This resource has helped equip our students with the knowledge and awareness needed to foster a more respectful and inclusive school environment. The museum's program directly aligns with our district's commitment to character education, social emotional learning, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. As a school community, the museum has helped to enhance our curriculum and equip our students with tools necessary to be informed and engaged citizens.
Even today in the classroom, I had them call back to the experience of talking about upstanders versus bystanders. And we were talking about Rosa Parks and how there were people on that bus. Maybe they didn't agree with what was happening to her, but were they upstanders or were they bystanders? And they made that connection of like, we understand that, we had that conversation already, and they were able to make those connections about what it's like to be a bystander and how we can turn that into becoming an upstander.
Well, how do we make sure we are treating people equally? What do you think? Yeah.
Well, like being nice and not like putting other people down just to...
The hope is that they understand tolerance is only step one. Right? Tolerance is not the end all be all of how we treat each other, but it's a really good place to start, right? Just by being able to say, we disagree on this, we don't see eye to eye on this, that doesn't mean we have to hate each other. That doesn't mean we have to fight with each other. We can still just share the same space together, right? We can still be polite and kind and respectful to each other. And once we practice tolerance enough, then we can start to accept each other, understand each other, become friends, support each other, right? So the goal is that tolerance is step one, and it's on students now to take it beyond that.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Nick, great job with all the videos this week. Awesome. You all did a great job, but a lot this week. So thank you very much. Board President, I turn it back over to you.
Okay, we are now on item 4, which is public expression, and no one signed up for public expression. So we are moving on to item 5A, which is our tenure reception. The following employees have received tenure throughout the school year, and we would like to recognize and congratulate them at this time. I will read the names, and if you are here, please stand when your name is called. And after we have read through the list, we will have a brief recess, approximately 15 minutes, to celebrate this occasion. And I apologize in advance for all the names I will mispronounce here. So we will start with Lisa Azzarelli Brown, Cassia Ballas, Natalie Bubb, Jennifer Buzek, Kelly Sacchini, Jacqueline Corsaro, Jacqueline Denzel, Alyssa Geraci, Christy Giardina, Amy Gorski, Marissa Greenwald, Kaylin Hayes, Stephanie Hubert, Marissa Knapp, Tracy Kochish, Elizabeth Kozojoy, Rebecca Krotesh, Gabrielle Morrow, Shane McQuaid, Haley Newman, Frank Nigro, Colin Quinn, Casey Ryford, Dominic Scaduto, Christina Carpici, Carly Shime, Sheila Sakuterski, Rachel Simpson, Kayla Snell Hillman, Amanda Spau, Kevin Spitzer, Melissa Strife, Stacy Tucker, Kaylee Vanner, Melissa Wozniak, Stephanie Weinstock, Gabrielle Weiss, Nicole Welt, Emma Widmer, Laura Whittle, Sarah Yerke, and Stephen Drozeski. Congratulations to all. We'll take a 15-minute recess. Thank you.
There are treats in the
you know. So is it worth, you know, and I go back.
At this time, we will reconvene the regular board meeting. Dr. Brown Hall, I turn it over to you for items 6A through 6C.
Thank you very much, Board President. I will start with the community update. The community update has a few new things, but a lot of what's in there are reminders just for summer programming. First, I want to thank so many of our stakeholders and community members that have submitted comments from the proposal at the May meeting regarding the distraction-free school zones. I want to remind everyone that this is part of the governor's budget and legislative agenda. I know some of the comments we received were debating whether or not we should have this policy. This policy is not a policy developed by our Board of Education by choice. This is actually in the governor's budget. We must have a plan sent into the state and our policy by August 1st with a September 25-26 implementation. So there is still time to comment if you would like. The feedback form, you can actually click the link in this presentation, and that information is shared with the committee, the chairperson of the committee, who is Principal Andrew Bowen at North High School, and all board members receive the comments also so that they can review them. The committee will meet again on June 25th, the day after the comment period closes, to see if there's anything that needs to be adopted or amended to the presentation and the proposal that has already been submitted, thereby requiring us to amend our policy 7316. The $13.5 million that was allocated in the governor's budget for storage solutions, that has not been determined how schools or districts can access that money. We're assuming it will be on a reimbursement basis based on your BOCES aid rate, but we're still waiting for direction. Principal Bowen, the chair of the committee, explained that we will be purchasing a limited number of pouches for our high schools and middle schools, as it is one of our intervention steps. It is not a first step. I want to remind everyone that June 25th from 5 to 7:30 p.m., the Community Health Speaks Department of Psychiatry is hosting a community film screening of the film Can't Look Away. It really highlights the dark side of social media and its negative impact on young users. This will be at the Jacobs School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences on the UB campus, 955 Main Street, Buffalo, New York, 14203. Information is shared bi-weekly and in the school newsletters. This is a free event and open to the public, and there will be a discussion after the screening of the movie. Our elementary air conditioning project is actually moving ahead of schedule. So information was shared with families and staff on June 3rd. The landing page for each elementary school on their website has air conditioning updates also. Phase 2 schools, which are Dodge, Forest, and Maple East, work will begin this summer ahead of schedule, which will include tile removal and abatement and ceiling removal in preparation for infrastructure installation. So all of our elementary schools will be closed this summer as the work continues. So again, after June 27th, all of our elementary schools will be closed for the summer. Our Regents exam, the schedule is listed here in board docs in the community update, and I know it is available in all of our high schools and middle schools. Our district calendar, you will remember we've announced at the last 2 board meetings that the last student day is Wednesday, June 25th, and the last teacher day has been moved to Thursday, June 26th. And that last student day is a half a day on the 25th. Reminders will be shared, will continually be shared on Wix and through our social media channels. Summer school, we've highlighted this. We want to make sure everyone is aware. Our elementary and middle summer school will be held at Transit Middle School. Our high school summer school at Williamsville East High School, and the special education summer school will be at Mill Middle School. Information is available on our summer school webpage. One of the highlights of senior year, besides the prom and graduation, is the memory walk. So that is our opportunity to have our senior students return to their elementary school in their cap and gown and parade through the school so they can see their former teachers from elementary school. And we also invite back retired teachers that may have retired since the students attended so they can see those teachers also. So the memory walks will be on Wednesday, June 18th, and each memory walk will be recorded and shared through newsletters and our social media channels. Our 2025 graduation schedule is set. Williamsville East is Friday, June 27th. Williamsville North and South are Saturday, June 28th at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. respectively. Last but not least, once our students graduate, we encourage them to fill out the alumni form, and anyone that has graduated from Williamsville East, South, or North, please click on the form and fill it out. We are in the process of designating alumni coordinators at each of our high schools so they can assist with the Alumni Association activities, and that is sponsored by the Williamsville Education Foundation. So they're partnering with the district in that endeavor. Thank you to our 2025 retirees for everything that they've done, and we will have our retiree reception on June 25th. Everyone enjoy summer break. This is the last board meeting of the 24-25 school year. And that is the last community update of this school year. Any questions, board members? Awesome. Now I will turn it over to Assistant Superintendent Tony Scanzuzzo to give us an update on our Sandy Hook Promise.
Thank you, Dr. Brownhall. Appreciate the opportunity. Just want to let you guys know that the Williamsville Central School District has made the commitment to protecting our children by joining and making the promise with the Sandy Hook Promise program. This is an award-winning program that is a nationwide initiative that builds awareness and building campaigns to protect students. And the promise itself has really extended itself well beyond Sandy Hook. And it's a testament to nearly the 10 million people who've made the promise and supported it throughout the country. This is a nationwide initiative. So we're happy to be a part of it. And as you can see, their trademark below it, to see something, say something. You might be seeing this in some of our buildings as our buildings have received kits with posters to help promote the See Something, Say Something initiative that's taking place within all of our buildings in our district. It's an anonymous reporting system that trains and educates students grades 4 through 12 and faculty and staff on how to recognize warning signs from individuals who may be at risk, people who may want to inflict self-harm, either through verbal, nonverbal, or through social media. They act immediately to help to talk and to trusted adults in our building, or that's really the focus of this program, is to help extend and build relationships within our buildings between our students and our staff members and adults in the building. But if that's not available, or if that's not something that they feel has been established, there is a reporting system. And the SSARS is a Say Something, See Something anonymous reporting system. It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year hotline that students can access via telephone, mobile app, or through our website. And I want to thank Mr. Filipowski for activating the link on all of our building websites that students can actually go to the See Something, Say Something tip line and submit a tip through the website. Program is age appropriate and evidence informed, as you can see. To date, the See Something, Say Something reporting system has stopped multiple incidents of violence in schools across the country through gun threats, and it's also helped reduce bullying, cyberbullying, and provided intervention for students who are considering self-harm, drug use, and destructive decisions. So about a year ago, Dennis Kozala, who's the Erie One BOCES safety coordinator, had mentioned that the Sandy Hook Promise is looking to onboard many districts and many schools, and they're really kind of looking to expand their footprint in the Western New York area in Erie 1 BOCES. I think currently we're probably the 6th or 7th district in Erie 1 BOCES to be on board with the See Something, Say Something system. And so we started this, it's been quite an endeavor. It's a major lift for us. We started this in March. We had our kickoff training with the Sandy Hook people. All of our district administrators, Amherst Police Department was involved in the training. So we had about 45 people involved in this kickoff. On April 29th, there were various tips that we were able to be eligible for our tip test. So there was a lot of information and training that all of the administrators had to do their website. And on May 20th, we had our Go Live training, and it was a pretty successful campaign. And so that's when our district built our website for allowing students to actually utilize their home pages to submit tips for things that are either they witness or they see other people involved in. And as of this Friday, we will be live to accept tips. And I will say this, we've had every building but 2, I believe, thus far complete their training, and the Go Live link has already been activated. We've already had about 8 tips that we've already addressed district-wide since the trainings have continued and been put in place at our schools. So and Dr. Balin, myself, Denise Steppenbeck, and most of the district team and the building administrators who've had students that were affected by these tips have all been notified and are working towards supporting those kids. So we will provide additional training at the fall of the 2025 school year to our students, faculty, and staff to, again, just kind of reiterate the importance of the See Something, Say Something anonymous tip line, what it's about, how to activate it, how to access it. And it's just another tremendous resource that we have in place. And I just kind of want to list some of the things that we have in place. So when we talk about safety, I really want to put in the forefront that it is a top priority in this district. Through our district safety plan, our individual building plans, which are updated annually. We had our vestibule capital projects for, the entrance into all of our buildings. The Raptor system identifying visitors who come into our buildings is another layer of support. The Zero-Eyes weapon detection surveillance monitoring system that we have in place is another form of safety that we have that we are seeing really every weekend. We get notifications of things that are kind of happening with kids with toy guns on our playgrounds under the supervision of their parents. But those are things that we get notified of really daily. The Sandy Hook Promise, having our 3 school resource officers and our feeder patterns, in addition to our VISTA security officers who patrol our buildings as well throughout the course of the school day. So we really have made a tremendous amount of emphasis on school safety throughout our district. I want to just share with you some of the information regarding the different teams that are set up through the See Something, Say Something anonymous reporting system. So each school of our 13 buildings has a school team made up of school level administrators who review any tips and notifications that come through. It's really up to them to determine, the team members that they have. And sometimes I think most of the time they'll include their school social workers to really work with the students who are potentially in need. Our district team comprised of the assistant superintendents, Dr. Denise Steppenbeck, and we receive tips that are categorized as life safety, but we see them all as well. So even the school level tips that come in addition to the crisis center life safety level tips, we see them all. And I'm the lead person as far as point of contact with the Sandy Hook organization. We have a special team that's in place in the event of there's situations that maybe need to be handled with care, where there's maybe an adult that's involved with a tip acting potentially inappropriate with a student. So that would include Dana Floriano in HR, as well as Molly Cooper. When we talking about things like sexual harassment or assault and anything that falls under Title IX, those are also people that we have in place to help address those special kind of circumstances. And then we have our 911 dispatch team, which consists of our Amherst Police Department. And the relationship that I'm really proud to say is one of it's a great companionship. It's a great working relationship that we have with APD. They're a tremendous resource for us, and we work very well together. And I'm proud of that relationship that we forged over the years. As far as the activation piece, the tip line is available Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and available on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, and then there's categories of how the tips are filtered through their call center, which is tremendous, by the way. I have to say that the people manning those phones are so professional. They're incredible with calming people down, asking the pertinent question, getting the information that's vital that they need in order for the buildings to have people in place to support those kids. So we have non-life threatening. Those threats go to our school and district teams, and we receive a text message or an email that a notification of a tip has been placed. And then there's the life-threatening tips that come in, and those are really after they've been received and vetted as to whether or not there needs to be an immediate response for students potentially in dangerous situations, either self-harm or engaging in some dangerous behaviors. What the tip line does, and we received 2 of these so far, is to notify the district so that they can find out where this person is housed, what their address is. They can't provide that information to dispatch or APD, but once they do, they're the next contact that is made, and APD has been sent out to do 2 welfare checks already since we've enacted this on May 20th. So happy to say that these are very prompt messages that we receive, and we act very swiftly. And our district team was available to members of our district team were available to provide them with the address of the student in need, and then that's when APD gets notified that a welfare check is imminent, and they go out and they handle those, which is phenomenal. And it's a testament to everybody working together for the good of kids. So as I said, all of the school district sites and web pages have a link, an active link, once their students have been trained in their buildings. And like I said, I think 11 of the 13 schools currently have this link activated thus far. And as of Thursday, we'll be going live. So I'm happy to say that, again, another resource for our students to protecting them and making the promise to their health and welfare. Any questions?
I just want to highlight on that last slide, Tony, if we can go back, because a parent and guardian guide is important, and that parents and stakeholders can click on there to show, and it says my role as a parent or a caregiver, and it has a lot of the highlights of how families can get involved and important things for parents to know. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to say, this is no cost to the district. This is funded through, monies that the Sandy Hook community has been able to collect over years, and they call it grant funded. So we have a 3-year contract with them that will be renewed. And as of right now, there's no cost to the district, and they foresee no cost after that as well. So it's a tremendous resource. And like I said, the people who are receiving these tips are one of the best. They really are.
Dr. Singh, did you have a question?
Just one. Are there protections in place to ensure privacy and confidentiality?
Yes, that's why it's anonymous. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say that I'm so pleased that we are involved with this. I've been to a number of safety trainings where they all emphasize the importance of having the availability of anonymous tip line. You know, what you spoke to, it's most important to build those relationships in the school building, but there are times when folks do not want to use those relationships to report something. So having that anonymous tip line is a wonderful resource. I did just want to clarify on the team activation page, you had hours listed Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then hours on Saturday and Sunday. I'm assuming that's for non-threatening.
Correct.
Okay, so the ones where there's an imminent need, that's going to be available 24/7.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Were there any other board member questions or comments? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Board President. And under Superintendent's report, the last item is a wellness counseling program and plan 2024-2025. And you will read in item 6C, it says on an annual basis, the Wellness Council provides the superintendent and the board with a report that describes the current status of the district's wellness program and offers recommendations for future considerations. So at this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Denise Steppenbeck to come up and just provide a few highlights from that report for item 6C. Thank you, Dr. Steppenbeck.
Well, thank you, Dr. Brown Hall, district administrators, and the Board of Education for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. Before I begin, I'd like to pause to acknowledge the contributions of our school mental health teams, as well as the leadership of our district wellness facilitators that are in each school building that have collectively made this work possible. I'm proud to have the opportunity to walk you through some of the highlights and key features of the K-12 Wellness Counseling and Program. Oops, sorry, wrong way. Upside down. From the 2024-25 school year. Part 100 of the Commissioner's Regulations define what school counseling programs should look like, and the New York State Department of Education puts forth guidelines as to what should be included as components of this plan. In review of that guidance this year, we have included some additional pieces in the plan that I'm going to highlight for you this evening. We've always defined our comprehensive counseling program with our mission and philosophy that is based on the recognition of the dignity and worth of all students and their rights to educational services. What we had not previously made explicit that we wanted to include in this version of the plan is our active commitment to the alignment with the American School Counseling Association, or ASCA, school standards. These standards provide the foundational direction in facilitating student development in the domains of academic, career, and personal social areas. The mindsets and behaviors for student success, which have always been a part of our counseling plan, are from the ASCA National Student Standards. Coupled with our New York State Career Development and Occupational Studies standards, or our CDAW standards from New York State, that has formed the basis of our work. The elementary counseling team this year reviewed the current scope and sequence of our school core counseling curriculum in tandem, this time with the New York Social Emotional Learning Benchmark equity revisions and the Collaborative for Academic Social Emotional Learning CASEL framework. We identified indicators in both the elementary and late elementary grades that provide evidence of our effectiveness. The other addition to the comprehensive counseling plan this year was a description of our elementary, middle, and high school programs and services that we offer at each of those levels. We modified and adapted the 2022-25 goals last year to include sub-goals focused on the larger categories of parent and community access to resources and social emotional learning for all students. The web-based resources and the internal database of resources are two endeavors we have been working on from the back end to ensure that parents and caregivers have access to school-based and community-based sources of support. Our middle schools have successfully launched our Positivity Project initiative and are continuing to share with families the SEL work and character education that is being done consistently across all 4 of our middle schools.
We've expanded our partnership with Spectrum Mental Health to provide clinical mental health services at the middle school in addition to our high school level students, and after school hours to all families in the community through the Family Support Center. I could speak all night with immense pride about the impactful start the Family Support Center has had on the students, their families, and the staff that have been involved in this endeavor. We have so many ways in which we can grow, and I appreciate the continued support for our community to do just that. What started as a small group of highly committed individuals has grown as the word has spread about the good work that is happening here, and I hope to strategically continue that growth as we move into the future. We've engaged in a great deal of learning and understanding about the root causes of chronic absenteeism, the last item on that list, but one of the most important. And we are just beginning our systematic and strategic efforts to address this growing trend that our district is not alone in facing. We've created new systems to notify and encourage families and students to continue to engage in school that will roll out in the fall. And beyond the notification-based interventions, we will be delving deeper into mentoring-based interventions that will support student re-engagement when students are in attendance. Finally, we are well underway in our district's efforts to ensure an understanding and use of trauma-informed practices and restorative approaches, and we are looking forward to analyzing the results of a district-wide staff survey that was disseminated last Friday that will inform our next steps. Now a brief overview of our K-12 wellness programs. Since the inception of the Amherst Youth Coalition, the Williamsville, Amherst, and Sweet Home districts have been working together to engage in the work of Search Institute and the development of 40 developmental assets. In the past, our surveys have been given every 2 years and included the full scope of the 40 developmental assets. They took a great deal of time, and we had many families that did not opt to participate in that survey. This year, we made a strategic decision to move to the developmental assets profile, also from the Search Institute, that instead of looking at all 40 assets, looks at the 8 asset categories of internal and external assets in which those 40 assets live, and the context in which assets are developed. Our survey was a success in that over 2,000 of our students in grades 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 participated, and we received the results of that February administration survey at our April meeting of the Wellness Committee. This slide shows the 8 asset categories for internal and external developmental assets. When we met in April, we spent a good deal of time working with the Search Institute to really focus on the district survey to understand what information was contained and how we would use those results to inform our practice from a broad scale. Then teams met in levels to review the elementary, middle, and high school reports. And again, those teams made some recommendations for work moving forward. Finally, we ended the day with buildings having an opportunity to see their reports as well. One of the findings that we noticed overall was that we are very strong in the area of support across the board for our students, which is one of the external assets that we provide. The one that we have a slighter dip in is constructive use of time, which as we talk about cell phone use and things that students are doing outside of the school day, it makes sense that constructive use of time outside of the school day would be an area of continued growth and focus for our district. As we move into the middle levels, we have a bit more of a dip in scores related to positive identity. Again, at the middle school level, we often find that as students are coming into their own, they do experience questions and challenges about who they are and who they want to be as they continue to grow. The 5 contexts in which developmental assets occur are listed on the right-hand side. One of the pieces of information that the Search Institute provided to us that you may not find in the report is how impressed they were with the fact that our community assets was one of the strongest indicators of where assets are developed in our young people. It really speaks to the dedication and the investment that our community has in our young people, and that it was recognized by an entity who sees many, many different communities across the United States. There is a feeling of pride in the room when our wellness facilitators had predicted what would be strong because of our efforts, and that information was validated by data. In the areas where we would like to be stronger, there was a great deal of idea sharing and enthusiasm for rolling up our sleeves, digging in. We look forward to utilizing our fall meeting as a wellness team to develop goals as buildings, which you will start to see a little of in this report, as level teams, and as a district to continue to move the work forward in supporting our students in their asset development. I would like to end with a quote that has come up as a touchstone for many a conversation this year when it comes to the important work of our mental health and wellness teams. Whether we say it to ourselves in the moment, we say it to each other when the work gets hard, or we say it to our students when they are struggling to move forward, it's something that we strongly believe in and we try to model every day. Thank you once again for your time and attention this evening. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much, Dr. Steppenbach. Thank you very much. Turn it back over to you, Board President.
Thank you. We are now on item 7A. All board members participated in our annual superintendent evaluation with a process using the Super Eval platform. And we met with Dr. Brown Hall to conduct this evaluation in executive session on Tuesday, May 27th. Dr. Brown Hall earned an overall highly effective rating, and further information is available in board docs. Are there any board member comments?
I would like to just thank you for, I'm glad that we're reporting on this. I think the public should know what the board feels about the job the superintendent's doing. And, you know, the evaluation has different grades, ineffective, developing, effective, and highly effective. The one grade that's not on there is perfect, because no one is perfect, right? Superintendent will be the first to admit he's not perfect. No one here is perfect, but I mean, and I've said many times, I'm proud to have him as a superintendent. And, we talk about relationship with the board, again, not perfect, but we work through it. And I think, you define effective relationships and how well you work together when you disagree on things. And Dr. Brown Hall, is the superintendent of a district with almost $250 million budget, hundreds of employees, dozens of facilities to manage. And, and he does it, according to the board, according to my colleagues, and I'll speak on my own behalf. I think he does a fantastic job, and I was proud to give him this evaluation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Manna, for sharing that. Moving on to item 7B. I call on Onboarding Committee Chair, Ms. Bleckinger, to provide an update on the Onboarding Committee.
Sure, thank you. On May 6th, Maureen and Carrie and myself met again to review our newly board member for the Board of Education, discussion on procedure, and also the newly student board members. And thank you, Giselle, for being here tonight. And we're excited to have you on board. She's our North representative. And we're also excited to have the other two student school members here also. So we appreciate your presence. I'm going to have Nick pull up what we reviewed were at first the student member, let me get this here, the onboarding. And this kind of just gives an overview for them, why it's important to be a representative. They'll have a mentor, either from the president or vice president, and also a teacher advisor. This talks all about the board. You can flip through. This is also available on board docs for the public to view, what the role is of a school board member, where our Board of Education meetings are located and the dates for those.
the responsibilities, what if you cannot attend a meeting, procedural information, glossary of terms. And then here it goes through a typical agenda and what to expect in our board meetings. So we'll be reviewing this with our newly board members when they begin in our July meeting. We also reviewed our newly elected VOE member. We mimicked a template from the Saratoga Springs. You can bring that up, Nick. And what we have right now is just the table of contents. We have to gather all this information that we have in different places, but this will be our table of contents for onboarding information packet for our new BOE members. And this again is available on Board Docs. Anyone have any questions or comments? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I do know there was also discussion about how to structure the student board members with an opportunity to speak during meetings. And so I didn't know if there were any thoughts from any of my board colleagues. One of the things that we had talked about is perhaps just using our current structure, which is committee of the whole, so that just like any other board member, if a student board member had things they wanted to bring to us, they could request that in advance, that they were going to bring that up under student of the, or I'm sorry, not student of the whole, committee of the whole. And we could have that discussion at the table. So that was, I know, one of the things we had talked about. Are there any thoughts or questions or comments? I know there's going to be a little bit of growing as we have the new student board members join us at the table, and hopefully we can continue to provide the support they're needed to be successful and have them integrated into our board.
I'll just add that as an aside to that, Dr. Braun Hall and I had the opportunity to have a conversation with the SIAC group and talked about how our student board members might interface with them. So that's something that's a work in progress. But one of the suggestions that they made was that our student board members would convene the SIAC members from their school periodically to have a dialogue with them so that they could all be working together for those issues. So
And if the student board members would be able to attend the SIAC meetings that are held at their school.
at their school, because our SIAC meetings do move around to all
Yep.
three high schools. So
Thank you so much for sharing that. Are there any other board member questions or comments? Mr. Manna.
Yeah, I think I could support the students giving some kind of brief, State of the Union address about their schools. But, and I know we have a board retreat coming up, and I know the student representatives have been invited, and I like to maybe take that opportunity to kind of feel out what they think they could offer. I would prefer something written in writing prior to the meeting, so we can all not be surprised. Maybe if there's issues that need to be addressed. But I would like to hear from them at our board retreat what they would like to contribute.
Unfortunately, the time that we have available, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of time for that conversation, but we certainly could add that as an agenda topic for, one of our first meetings, so we can talk about with all three of our student board members at the table and us all involved in that discussion, some ideas from them. So I appreciate that.
Just the last thing I want to do is give them more homework. I'd like them to feel like they could give a brief report about some of the, top line issues that's going on in their school. And I'm sure they're not going to report that, that the hot dog was cold at lunch today, but it's going to be really what, some things that, is our message getting through to the student body? That's one thing I always ask, if there's questions that students have about a program or process and we know it, or the superintendent knows it, do the students know it? And if not, why not? How can we open that line of communication better? That's really where I think, the rubber meets the road on where the student representatives are going to really, give us that firsthand experience and that firsthand knowledge.
One more comment. We also discussed having a mentorship or virtual meeting with Dr. Brown Hall, the president and the vice president, on the Monday before our meeting. So once they have a chance to go through the agenda, if they have any questions, they can also ask those questions then. There's also a student training, which is taking place July 17th at our Harlem BOCES location. So they'll have that training under their belt too before they begin.
Wonderful, thank you. And we will make sure to have that discussion at the table once we have all 3 student board members at the table. How can we support them and how would they like to contribute? So thank you. We're moving on to item 7C. I call on Vice President Poulin to review our year-end board goals.
This year, we continued to focus on the support of the 4 district strategic plan goals: communication, wellness, community, and sustainability, teaching, learning, and leadership, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and our goal of board governance. Some highlights from this year as of the work included launching of our district app that has been well received by our community, the community and staff forums that we have had, as well as having student forums this year at each one of the high schools rather than collectively at a different location. Our Green Ribbon School Committee completed a draft of an application for Maple East Elementary, which will be submitted when the window opens up in the fall to submit those. We were able to pass our budget proposal, allowing us to continue all of the programming that we currently have, as well as to advance our special education work towards adding additional special education classrooms. We continued our community spotlight videos, thanks to Nick, focusing on our monthly themes. And most months, it's been 2 themes this year. We adopted a process as well as a policy in regard to our student board members, and that process seems to have worked because we successfully elected our 3 new student board members who will be with us in July. We continued, as always, to visit every one of our schools. 2 schools left to visit on this coming Friday. And we formulated a standing policy committee to continue to review our policies, which has been very busy working with policies, making it changes as needed. The full report's available on board docs with all of the details of all of the oversight that we have done, all of the reports that we have heard in regards to curriculum and budget issues and so forth throughout the year.
Thank you very much, Vice President Poulin. Are there any board member comments regarding our year-end board goals? Okay, moving on. We are on item 7D. Our board retreat will be held on June 17th, and our student board members will be attending the retreat for a presentation from 5:45 to 6:45. Our graduation assignments are listed in board docs, and our remaining building visits to Dodge Elementary School and district office are on June 13th. Are there any board comments or questions regarding the events? Okay, we are on items 7E through 7G. Board liaison assignments, ECSB, and NYSBA events are all in board docs. Item 7H, all proposed NYSBA bylaw amendments and resolutions must be received no later than 5 p.m. on Friday, July 18th. So if we have any interest in submitting a bylaw amendment or a resolution, we would need to do so by that time. Item 7I, we received correspondence from community members regarding security at a school event, social media, Heim Elementary School building and grounds, and home instruction. Are there any board member comments or questions regarding items 7E through 7I? Okay, we are now on our agenda items 9 through 14, which is minutes, personnel, business and finance, district facilities and support services, exceptional education, special needs and student activities, and instruction curriculum. May I have a motion to approve items 9 through 14 as presented? Ms. Fletch, Ms. Poulin, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations to Lindsay Johnson, our newly elected assistant principal at Hine Middle School. Please step up to the podium. Newly appointed, not newly elected. I apologize.
That's a new policy.
I'll be elected as well. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Brown Hall, Board of Education and Leadership Team. Thank you so much. It's been a real true privilege to serve as the assistant principal at Heim Elementary this past year. I've seen firsthand what can be accomplished when a staff really comes together for a real common purpose. And so, to be honest, I am leaving a part of myself across the parking lot. But as I step into the new role as assistant principal at Hine Middle now, I'm really excited to take my experience, my relationships, and my commitment to excellence. And while I may be trading in my Husky gear for now becoming a Heim Hawk, I'm proud to carry forward the same dedication of supporting and empowering every student. I'd like to thank Principal Buffamonte and the support that I'm experiencing tonight. So grateful for that for some of the Heim teachers. I really look forward to partnering with Principal Buffamonte and working together to accomplish a whole lot of great things at Heim Middle. So thank you for entrusting me with this new position, and I can't wait to continue to serve the Heim community in this new chapter. So thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you.
If they're willing to.
And as we continue our celebrations, thank you to the following retirees for their service to the district. Linda Markarian, Dodge Elementary School nurse with 13 years of service, and Rosemary Spano, North High School teacher aide with 38 years of service. Congratulations and thank you. We are now on item 15A. Policy 1320 relates to the nomination and election of board officers and the duties of the president and vice president. Please note the election of our 2025-26 officers will be at the July 1st organizational meeting. Tonight, anyone interested in serving as a board officer will have up to 3 minutes to present a statement. Who would like to express interest in president? That would be me, apparently. I wasn't sure if there was anyone else. So first, I would like to thank my board colleagues for trusting me to serve as president this year. And I'm also very grateful to Vice President Poulin and to Parliamentarian Blackinger for their leadership. Over the past year, I have fulfilled all my responsibilities, including promptly replying to numerous emails on the behalf of the board. I also aim to conduct efficient and effective meetings, and that we will be done very soon. And while I remain open to feedback, and I hope to learn from my mistakes. Because I value continuous improvement, I participated in many professional development opportunities, and I sought guidance to enhance my leadership skills. If reelected, which if I'm running unopposed, I'm pretty sure I will be, Please know that I do not intend to seek a board officer role beyond the next year. That said, I would be grateful for your continued support in 2026. Thank you. Who would like to express interest in vice president? Dr. Spicer.
Thank you. Thank you also to my colleagues for the past 2 years. Thank you for your service and role modeling in the roles of president, Dr. Singh, as well as our current president and vice president. It has given me the opportunity to learn a great deal and to consider my interest in the position of vice president. So I'm excited to offer my name for the role of vice president for the 25-26 school year. And I can commit to continuing to bring to the table my collaborative approach to conversations, ensuring that all voices are heard, and my experience with policy development and centering the student voice. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to express interest in vice president? Okay, looks okay.
For somebody else.
Okay, Mr. Manna.
I don't have a speech, but Dr. Spicer is an outstanding board member. She'd make an outstanding vice president. But I believe that you should have to campaign for any board position, any leadership position, and you do that throughout the year, and you can do that between now and the next meeting. And, tell your colleagues, tell my colleagues why we feel we are best qualified for vice president. Not that I'm better than anybody here, but I think that I'd be a good vice president. I think that the vice president and president, they have to put themselves outside of the role of president and vice president and take into account how the board feels on certain topics and be their voice inside the room with the superintendent, and not just make decisions because the president and vice president get along or they agree. You really have to be the voice and the conscience of the entire board. And when you take certain actions, public actions, you have to understand how that will affect the board. And I'm going to be a vice president who will absolutely take into account what my actions and what I do and what I say, how they affect the board. And I wouldn't put the board in a difficult position by any action or position I took publicly. So I am running to be their voice inside the room and at this table. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manna. Is anyone else interested in running for vice president? Okay, I am seeing no one else. We will move on. Thank you to those who expressed interest this evening. We are now on item 15B. Policy 1330 is in board docs for review to ensure that all necessary designation and appointments are current and aligned with the district's needs. Do any board members see any discrepancies or have any comments regarding these appointments that will be approved at the July organizational meeting? Okay, I don't see any. So moving on to item 15C. May I have a motion for the first reading of 7316, use of internet-enabled devices during the school day, and to retire policies 7316 and 7317 as presented. Ms. Poulin, Ms. Fletch, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. May I have a motion to postpone these policies for the second reading at the July 1st meeting? Ms. Buckinger, Mr. Manna, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Item 16, there are no legislative matters to discuss. Item 17, are there any matters to discuss under committee of the whole? I don't see anyone. And now we are on to 18A, our second public expression. If anyone in the audience would like to speak at this time, please raise your hand. I do not see anyone with a raised hand, so we will move on to item 19. Our next board meeting is the organizational meeting on July 1st. On behalf of the board, I would like to wish all students success as they take their final exams and finish the school year with their end of year activities. Congratulations to graduating seniors and their families. And we would like to wish our best wishes as they prepare to close one chapter and begin their next chapter. And to all in our Williamsville community, have a safe and enjoyable summer. May I now have a motion to adjourn the regular board meeting? Dr. Singh, Dr. Spicer, all in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Good night.
Right.